Hey everybody, it's Slickback Rocker here, and today, well, at least 46 years ago apparently, the king as we know him as Elvis Aron Presley, take care of business, had passed away 46 years ago. And I thought, while it's still on the day here, as if we speak right now, it's officially still the day that he passed away from us. I mean, we lost him. I figured that I would go through some of my Elvis stuff for one, and for two, kind of talk about to you guys how I got into Elvis in the first place, because I never really discussed it. So here we are. Let's go ahead and get started here. So I remember this, one of the very first Elvis items I ever remember seeing and buying when I first started collecting some of his stuff was his Volume 1 Golden Records. This is one of the first Elvis things I officially bought with my own money. I wasn't expecting to buy this, but I seen it in there, and this is when I was first getting into Elvis, and I'm like, you know what? Looks interesting. I'm going to check it out. I already knew some of the songs were off there anyway when I first started listening to it, so I'm like, all right, I'll check out some of his other stuff, see what he's got. And the first time I put this on the record player, I was completely blown away with the tracks. I was like, this is pretty good. I wonder what his other music sounds like. And then eventually I bought, some more records that he bought in the future, obviously. And eventually, actually a couple days later, I went back to that same Walmart, and I was able to find not only this, which is this 30 CD compilation on one disc, 30 songs. I was also able to find this 7-film movie pack. And I wasn't eventually going to buy the movie pack, but I'm thinking to myself here, well, it does have Jailhouse Rock in it, and I do like that film. So maybe I'll check out some of the other films, see what else he's got. And I did, and I eventually liked it, and I'm where I'm at today. So I got into Elvis, so here comes the story part. Oh yeah, also, I'll talk about this one too real quick. This is the first Elvis cassette I ever bought and got and received. 50 years, 50 hits. First ever cassette I got was this, or Elvis related cassette was this one. Anyways, back onto the point here. The first, so I got to Elvis like 4 years ago. And when I first started listening to Elvis, I wasn't big on him. I wasn't like, oh my God, he's the greatest artist in the world, But now that we've, been through the years for the past 4 years, and I've listened to more of his music and watched more of his movies and documentaries, I've come to respect him a lot more than what I used to. When I was first listening to Elvis, the first song I heard from him was Jailhouse Rock, and immediately I'm like, this is a really nice up-tempo, upbeat, rock and roll sound to it, man. And it got me interested in his other music. And since then, I've been hooked on it, and I've been, checking out. There's still songs to this day I've never heard. And I'll have to check them out one day to see how they are. But, yeah, it's stuff like that that just drew me on to Elvis in general, and checking out his music, watching his movies, and checking them out for the first time, or rewatching them again, all that good stuff. And now I'm to the point where I have a whole shelf in my room dedicated to Elvis stuff. Like, that's how much he's grown on me, and, I like him that much to the point where I have a whole shelf dedicated to Elvis. Like his movies, his books, CDs, cassettes. I'll have to show you another video, but for now, we'll just continue where we're at. So yeah, Jailhouse Rock was the first track I ever heard by Elvis, and instantly I was grabbed onto it. I was hooked onto it. I'm like, this is a really awesome, upbeat, positive rock and roll sound that I was looking for and liking. I started getting to Elvis about the same time I started greasing. So I was like, what, 2019, 2020? Damn, 4 years ago already. And when I first started greasing, one of the first rock and roll songs, I just typed on YouTube rock and roll 50 songs to see what would come up. And someone made a playlist, and one of the songs that did come up was Jailhouse Rock. So I'm like, well, I know of Elvis, but I've never heard any of his stuff before. So I clicked on it, listened to it, and I'm like, damn, enough said. This guy, is really good. And from there on, I checked out more of his music. I bought my first Elvis record, and I bought my first CD and cassette tape and movie box set. And yeah. So now we're at where we're at now with how things are going with the shelf and my records and stuff. And I've completely overbuilt my collection from when I first started collecting all this stuff. I've completely overgrown it, updated it multiple times, done videos on it. You guys know, for those of you who've seen my channel before, know I've done updated videos on my Elvis stuff or Elvis related items. And I even seen the Elvis movie with Austin Butler like 6 or 8 times, so we know I've seen that. Like, it's just crazy that, you know, he passed away from us 46 years ago, and that he's not alive. And you know, it'd be really interesting to see if he was alive and what his music would sound like today. I'd really be interested to see if he was alive, still making music to this day, what it would sound like. It'd be very interesting to find out if that would be able to happen, but it can't. But yeah, so I figured I'd hop on here real quick, not make this too long, but kind of just tell the story of how I got into Elvis in the first place. You know, it was mainly just other rock and roll artists like Buddy Holly, Little Richard, all that stuff. Eventually I trembled upon Elvis and I started listening to some of his stuff. I'm like, all right, this guy's pretty cool too. I like his music. I like his beats and stuff like that. And yeah, that's kind of my story on how I got into Elvis in the first place. And yeah, so I figured I'd just hop on here and talk about this a little bit and all my stuff a little bit. Thank you all for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. New hair products video will be coming this weekend. Stay tuned for that. Comment, like, subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.